run under the basement here, run underground, right? Some of these are service, these are manholes, so a lot of services run under the floor. You have fire pipes underneath, you have data, electrical, and water, drinking water, possible water, and rainwater.
Are the sprinklers fed by the rainwater harvesting as well?
No. And you would want to use the rainwater because you would have to probably service it for as well. So
potable water for the sprinklers.
Yes. Right.
Isn't there a reserve tank for the fire?
So we have sprinkler system here. And the type of, so like the country, the fire system and sprinkler. So the type of sprinkler that is up here, right? You ever watch movies and you see a little fire here and the whole place. Alright, so this sort of system, if there's an affected area right here, the sprinkler in that area, just the affected area that the sprinkler goes out. So it's a mercury system, it's a mercury, there's a bulb there, a mercury bulb. So when the fire gets to that heat, heats up to whatever is spec on it, because I think some of them are different, then it goes off in that affected area, just the delta area. So if it's a whole area, then all of them will go off, it's triggered, if the bulb melts. Right? And they cover 10 feet in diameter. Right? So there are space appropriately to cover. You had a question?
No, I was wondering if it was zoned, but you pretty much answered.
Okay. Also, you have the stormwater drain that runs under here and the overflow for the rainwater.
Notice the height, because cars are getting taller, and we have beams and we have sprinklers and stuff, so you have to be aware of what floor to under beam heights you have in basements, because services have to be in basements, especially sprinklers.
Right. And also, I have to touch on that because this building got a rain test in October 23.
Yeah, I was looking at it. No, it's not there.
Well, Peter came through Jarvis, he came through and he did an inspection and everything was intact. The only issue that we had was infill walls. So those infill walls, that I learned over time as well. The infill walls, they actually see it in motion or see it in reality where those walls really protect the columns and the beams, right? So they tend to crack up, all the infill walls tend to crack up and get damaged. But the columns and beams are intact because of the infill walls. So it's very important when you do the design and all of that, take those into consideration. And as she said, with services, I mean, as you will have taller vehicles, so the height may be a bit more, so you know, the structure, the beam would be much deeper, and the ceiling would be higher to facilitate.
When you say deeper, I mean wider.
Yeah, wider. Yeah, chilling management.
So you have to pay to when it's intelligent, you know, you have to see like building management, where they put it out and see everything.
There's a fire.
Is that the only compressor on the entire building?
No, the AC. Alright, so the compressor, that was an afterthought.
Oh,
so let me tell you, when you guys make designs, right? Mainly you're architectural students, so we just think about this doing design. Because in my time, I never used to think about building services. We were taught the course, but I never thought about it in depth until I was in the actual. So when you're designing, please bear that in mind, because you have to think about the person who has to go and fix stuff. And if you want to have a nice building, ensure that all your service rooms are accessible. The services are put media wherever you do them. So you have to bear that in mind. And if anything needs repairing, all of that you have to take into consideration, just to keep the look of your building and what you want to achieve. So just bear that in mind.
Usually I have a here, like during the summer months, and here don't get hot.
No man, no. Good earful. And as she said, alright, so she was mentioning something about the building management, right? So for the AC system, so there is a building management room. that the type of system that we have was supposed to be, so you have occupancy sensors in various areas. So the building is zoned, right? So, alright, for example, the lecture theatre, you'd have sensors in there. How she did the design was that if you have 20 persons in a 300-seat room, right? If 150 persons come in, they'll feel the same way as how the 50 persons will feel.
So it ramp up.
So it does ramp up without you actually noticing. So you now feel hot and all that, you're supposed to feel normal. So that's the purpose of this type of system. And I'm not sure if anybody's in there, but I'll try to pass by the theater, so it's cool from the ground. Because you know we only need a certain amount just to cover where it's and cold air falls, so that air down there, you don't need to cool the space that you're not using up for.
The occupancy sensor for you spoke about, is it also for like lights in certain areas?
No, well, we wanted to put that in, but that was part of, but yeah, just to put it in.
Okay. Yes.
Alright, you might not be able to, I'll take you to some of the floors, but might not be able to go to all the floors. But like this, so the basement here. So you notice we have a hose reel, and also there's a fireman assistant here. Right. So the fireman assistant.
Can connect the most.
Can connect.
Landing drop.
Right. So you can connect to it. Right. So every floor in this location going up, we have a electrical panel room. So this is one of the panels. So all the floors are fed from here. So it comes and I'll show you the generator room. So there's a generator room to the back of the building, and this is another sub panel. So we have about 2 panels. So the building is really protected. So if you have a surge, if it passes the one at the back, this one will stop the surge, so it doesn't go to the various floors to cause any damage to any equipment. And being here for over 10 years, we haven't had any equipment being damaged because of the system that we have in place here.
Question, the electrical room being in the place,
that was considered, but it's at an elevation where we won't have that panel. Right, we have drains. So you have to ensure that these drains are kept clean. And the reason for these sandbags is just that I preventative measure. I just put them there just in case a lot of water come in and maybe that block. That the water sheets pass and doesn't go in. But we haven't had that. We have a lot of rain where water coming, a lot of water comes through the drains full and a lot of water pass through. We don't have any flooding or any damage to the panel.
So you said that you couldn't put a drain there because of these services. It's not the service of the colors.
You can't put a drain.
I'm saying, why didn't you put a drain? Like all around?
You don't need drain. There's a drain there, there's a drain there.
there's a big drain, below.
Yeah, there's a little grating. Yeah, there's a little grating in there. Yeah. Not really much of a drain, but it's just a grating in there. But that's poked out. So this is a service area, so we have the compressor in that section.
That's air compressor for air.
Right, for the labs. And then this now is another little room that we have stuff for dentistry and vacuum.
That's for the air exchange. That word?
Huh?
No.
What's that? No, that's
the
what,
air.
no, the compressor is.
No, man, not that one. You said
The vacuum?
yeah.
No, vacuum for dentistry.
For
Go to the
dentistry, when you go
dentist.
dentist and you, that kind of.
Oh, okay. So the air is also for the dentistry.
Yes.
People.
That's it.
Whatever the
Yeah, that's something that you did that.
No, I don't think so. I don't know where it is.
What does the compressor serve?
The compressor, you ever go there? You ever go to the dentist and they press it, and they press that kind of. Yeah. So these are the tanks.
Alright, so this is the pump room. made of potable water. So you notice there are two pumps on them. Right? This is the fire pump. So you have the jockey pump and the main pump. So in the event that they need more water, then the big pump, the main pump will come in and give you more water. So this is the tank. So we use this water for drinking as well, right? So in the event that we use up the drinking water, there's reserved water in there for fighting fire. So there's a sensor, there's a probe that goes down into it to a certain point. Once it reaches there, the water level reaches there, it shuts off. So there's no more drinking water. So the water is just reserved for fire. So that was taken into consideration. Alright?
What is space for services? You should have gotten a bigger pump. Yeah, but you all, so you have to, if you understand how your building is functioning, you make space for things like that. You have to understand how your building works. And you notice where it is that the sound is away from everybody, so it's not very much like sounds are all that.
There's another assistant, fireman assistant.
That's right.
Water.
So the fire truck will come and bring it.
Right, they can pump water in here. Same thing as and then the other pump too for Black Cave is here. Same, two pumps, but a smaller because the stack is, this side of the building is much lower.
Yeah.
So two pumps, but it's 50 horsepower. So up there is 150 horsepower, 50 horsepower pump. And you know, for chill water, they have a supply line, they have a return line.
Yeah.
Services come from
The generator.